In this video, I will explain my prototype which I made for the Designing Mobile Experiences course. I will explain how my prototype fits my target audience and design goals, how I made my choices for the design, and finally some explanation about my user tests and results. The average student has a busy life where a daily schedule does not involve cleaning the toilets or scrubbing the floor. This means that organizing and running a household with more than 10 students can be very chaotic and unorganized without a proper system. An example of such a system could be in the form of a drawn schedule. Here the students can look up information about their current household task and fines they should pay when they don't complete their task in time. But these drawn schedules can become very confusing when constantly adjusting it. Confusion is a problem, so a solution is needed. I believe that my prototype could be this solution. Digitizing the existing system into a mobile application could resolve the problem because most students have a mobile device and schedules wouldn't have to be drawn. The digitized system should be more efficient than the existing system. Otherwise, what is the point of digitizing it in the first place? Each function within the application can be performed in just a few steps. The user is able to use every function from the existing system, but in a more clear and efficient way. A minimalistic design is required to quickly teach the user all the available functions of the application and to navigate easily between the different screens. Various colors are picked for every type of element. For example, buttons and icons have the color orange, which means interaction, while text color black means static text, which the user cannot change. This is the overview of a household. Here the user can see information about the day's till deadline, available tasks, and participants. The overview is shown in a tabbed view, which makes it easy to navigate between the available information. A simpler version of this overview can be seen on the home page. Here the user can perform their most important activities. These activities include seeing their current responsibility, complete their current responsibility by checking a checkbox, and navigating to several menus, like the complete overview. This is the final prototype of my application. Of course, this prototype didn't magically appear out of nowhere. When the target group and design goals were defined, I could start drawing the first sketches. These gave me an idea of the different functions that would be available in the application and how they were done. Next, I made a paper prototype which I tested on my target audience. The goal of this test was to see how fast certain tasks could be performed and if this was more efficient than the existing system. When I got all the information and feedback I needed, I drew 2 wireflows for every job story I created. Job story 1. When I go to France, I want to give my household task to another roommate who is at home so I can avoid getting a fine. Job story 2. When I tell my roommate to do his household task, I want to have some sort of evidence that it is his responsibility to complete this task so I can live in a clean living room and prevent my roommate from getting a fine. Job story 3. When I do a certain task, I want to know the exact definition of this task so I can have no miscommunication with my roommates about it. I finally started working on my first version of a digitized prototype based on these wireflows. I used Adobe XD because I already had experience with this software. This is when I started to think about colors and position of buttons and text fields. For example, I chose the color blue and orange to be my primary colors. After finishing the digitized prototype, I had to think about what could be improved, so I asked some people to test my application. I asked what they thought of the position of elements, colors, and shown text. When I got enough information again, I started on my second version of a prototype. This second version had a completely different home screen, which gave the user more information right away. After getting the results I needed from the A/B test, the final prototype could be designed. The most important usability quality components in my application design are efficiency and learnability. To know if these usability quality components are well met to my expectations, I had to perform an A/B test. During this test, 3 participants would be performing certain tasks in the A version of my application, and 3 participants would perform the same tasks in the B version. All of the participants were given scenarios in which they could perform these tasks. It was very important that they would be thinking out loud, and even more important that they would be honest. My main focus in this test was on the time the participants needed to complete the given tasks. I filmed participants so I could have a better look at other interesting things. Because the test lasted for more than 50 minutes, a lot of important feedback could be forgotten if I didn't. Because it was my first time performing such a test, it didn't go flawless. For example, I forgot to record the screen while the participants were performing the given tasks. I still got a lot of results, which were very helpful. I got feedback on what didn't work and what had to be improved, and what could stay the way it was. For example, the navigation between screens was really easy and little steps were needed to perform the tasks. However, the option to switch households was not really necessary. With this information and much more, I could design the final prototype and write a conclusion about the usefulness of my product. Besides the application being efficient and easy to use, it should also be fun to use. This is not the case with the current prototype. To achieve this goal, I would implement different elements of gamification. For example, give points to someone when they complete their tasks early and take points away when someone doesn't complete their task in time. Another example would be giving different amounts of experience points for completing tasks with various difficulties. For more information about this prototype and my future plans, visit my portfolio website. Thank you for watching.